Welcome back to RTC, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host Craig, and today we're looking at the Concrete Bunkers version 2. Right now, I want to go over this basic design that I did first time around. It looks quite nice. It's a bit, sticky outy in some parts, but it did suit a good function. But there was actually a little unfortunate fault that I did with building this bunker. This bunker actually had the guard in it already. I was using her height to measure out how big the roof should actually be when I was building it. So this version actually keeps them trapped in there, but once you leave or like fast forward, like leaving doesn't really bother it. But once you sleep or wait in a certain area, she actually despawns out of that, walks around somewhere else, and tries to walk back in it. So you have to fast travel and go back to a different one. So I've actually changed up the design quite a lot, which you'll see now in a second. So we're just going to have a quick transition over to the next design. Alright then, here we go. Here's the design that we have in place right now. I've kind of made a funky roof on it just to like add a bit of a different variety, and next to it is the original designs that I use on most of my forts and settlements, which is the round design. It's quite nice. I like it. I kind of like it on a high wall defense kind of style. But overall, this is quite cool, and with her in her marine armor, it actually looks pretty intimidating. But we're going to look around on this one first. I've changed the design over completely so the roof can actually work, and the soldier in question can leave and go as much as she needs to go. But this is my own design. This is something I fumbled around with. I actually did a better version than this. I kind of wanted to have a different roof with the posts. It all depends about where you place them. So and now in the next few seconds we're going to go over and check out how to build them. I have all the materials stacked over there. It's nighttime at the moment. So I'm going to wait a bit and I will, let's have another seamless transition. Shall we, people? I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Now it's daytime, it's the morning time. I can see it's not that foggy actually, which is nice, which helps a lot. It's foggy over there, but I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna look at most of the basic parts. We have the guard posts, we have the half floors. We actually have four of the half walls, one full wall. I believe it's four, maybe five single block posts, and then we have four posts from the Far Harbor DLC, which we get with Barnes. So we're going to start off with the posts first. Now, putting in a particular area, it doesn't really matter where you do the first post, as long as you get it nice and even and straight, like straight, not like slightly curved or whatnot. It will actually do you wonders. See here, when you try to get them together to like measure out their height, you have to do a bit of a weird way. Like I bring it out to a distance I think is right, and start maneuvering it around. So this will take a few minutes to do. It's not too bad. You see, I was all of an inch off, but I know that pole is curved a different way, so I'm gonna have to redo it now as we're watching it. But now we're gonna bring in the guard post, which is where I'm gonna use now. This is an easier way to do it. I was doing it the hard way, I know, but that's how I do things. For some reason, I always do it the hard way. So now we can use the guard post that you're going to use and pop them inside of where you wanted to go. Make sure the guard post is like as much as possible. The guard post is straight as possible, and you can bring in the posts as well as much as possible as well. I said possible so many times there. Apologies, but now with it there, it's at the same height. It looks a bit curved, so I'm going to start straightening them out a bit. Always check from each angle to see if they're perfectly aligned and at perfect height. So now, since that's ready to go, I'm just using this as quick reference. 1 second. I'm looking how it's done on this one, but I will be doing this one where the roof is completely even. So there's enough space in between to have another floor in. And now I'm going to bring over the single concrete ones. I do make a few mistakes in this, but I go over my mistakes and you'll see what I do anyway. Like it's the whole process that I want you guys to see. I could show you how to do it with no problems at all, but with mistakes it makes it easier to know what I'm doing. Alright, anyway, this is the first mistake coming up. Always make sure the concrete pillars are actually in place with each other and not curving off to the left or right. As you can see there, I put the wall back over and I start to move it out a bit so it actually has even sides now. And then we'll pop that in there, and there we go, bam. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. But anyway, we're going to go grab over another single concrete pillar now and test it. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right, now we're going to go over and get the other concrete ones as well. other concrete posts. I have most of the materials out there anyway for the first basic design, and I will be adding more materials to it to make it even. So let's try to get these in without any problems. That's excellent. These are looking very good. There's a phone going off in the background of my house. Apologies. Now you can reposition the guard post when it's at this stage to like a more straight and even version of it, so the walls can come around it nicely. And you go inside here, test the head height. I thought this might have been a bit too low, but I wasn't too bothered by it at first because it actually made a kind of a lower functioning bunker for better protection instead of the ones that I have like high up and like you'd use on a cliffside or something like that. But here we go. It's kind of like a beach bunker actually. It's kind of nice. I don't want to store this, but I'm gonna move this as you go along. Always moving the guard post to match up where you're putting the walls is very helpful. You see there, you can't even see the guard post in there, so it actually looks like a concrete bunker. Now, this is another mistake I made, which I didn't even out the posts correctly. The whole idea for this is now that I know how far off it is. So always test the roof at a certain point to make sure it's like correct. And now I'm going to bring them out lengthways now, which I'm not going to store that. I don't know why I keep trying to store that, but I'm going to try move the concrete posts up a bit. But as the wall's in there, I'll show you how to deal with that. You just drag out certain bits of the wall. Right here, I take out the front at first and then start raising it up because I thought the roof was too low. But it would have been fine either way. But now we're just going to bring them down a tad bit, move them. There we go. Now, perfect. Now we put the wall back in place. And now we're going to move on to the roof again. Where's that other roof I had? There it is. Now, oh, well, that actually looks kind of nice, but it's going to be uneven on the other side. So we're going to have it straight out like that. I hate I hate how finicky the controls are when it comes to doing this stuff with it. And now we're going to put this here. Now we're going to grab the other one and do the same. I think I've made another mistake as well. I'm showing these mistakes as like examples as well because this always happens when you build. But I don't think this is actually the mistake part. I actually made them even here as I planned to, thankfully. And let's see. It's just finicky. You just have to go over the finickiness of it. And I've made it even. Perfect. I don't have to go back over that then again, which is great. I'm just going to drag this out for a second. And this, because I know it's a bit off. Hold on. Also messing with the design right now, as I found throughout the video, this part is not that important, but it could be useful if you can work around it. But as they see there, that the post will not actually go up any higher, and if I put a smaller post on top of it, it would actually make it too tall for the guard post field. I could have done the glitch here, but I don't use that as often as I should. But I kind of like doing it the hard way. It's enjoyable to do, and well, you get the sense of pride from working on that. Then, well, the glitch is great though for certain things like building wall encampments and whatnot. But as you see here, as I left the middle plank in there in the between, it actually tells me how even it is now. And now we're going to put this in here, put the walls back together, or no, we're going to do the roof first. This here, so it tells us how much space we have. Now we can actually fit another plank in the middle. So we're going to grab that. We're going to put the wall back together first. I feel like that's needed. And then there we go. Now we're going to pop this back inside. And now we're going to grab this one. I'm looking at this right now. Hold on. I just need one of these here. I'm just going to put that here. And I feel like that's a bit too much, but I actually overworked that by looking back at my original design to see how I was doing this. I might have like thought at the time that it would be a good idea to try out this one, but as you see, it's going to show me doing mistakes. It's not perfect the way I do it, but it will be, a finished product at the very end of it. So we're going to go in the barns. We're going to stairs. If you want to do it that way, I use the stairs, the barn stairs. I had a few of them at the time, so they won't fly off at different directions. But you'll see now as I do this, just the example of how I did the other rooftop as well. Just that's how I did this. I'm just going to show you quickly. This was too finicky to do with this one because the boards were actually even. And as I try to show it right now, you see, it's a bit hard. So watch this. There we go. Bam. There we go. Grand. Absolutely grand. this is where I made it even. So now, pretty much at this point, when I was working on this, it wasn't supposed to be even. It was supposed to be like that, to be honest, either one. But when I made it even finally, and this is how I made it even, so you guys know how to do it, it's perfect. Like, it looks like an actual little beachside bunker where you'd have a guy on a heavy machine gun firing at you, which would be great. But, you know, anyway, we're going to move on now. This is where I test out different blocks. I tested this block I have out here, so I'm thinking, there's a whole inch off it there. So instead of just putting in a little square on its own, I start to extend it out at the back as well to make sure it's the same. And then now put it in the middle. Well, actually, no. I won't make it too long. I'll make it shorter. So, I think I'm going to make it shorter. Let's see how far. Yeah, that's actually perfect. We're going to make it a short bunker. It doesn't need a big, tall roof on it, so it'll be fine. And now we're going to put the other posts in, and here she is. One post and two posts. Bring it over to the other side. It loves to stick anywhere else. And now you pretty much have yourself a beach bunker. Now you remove the guard post, and here she is. She's ready to go. Okay guys, and we're just back quickly. I was actually putting the guard in halfway through that video, but she ended up going on walkabouts to a different guard post I had at the front gate. But now we're going to talk about this one here. This is the funky one. You can tell by where the poles were why I wanted them exactly to have this kind of shape. But I like that shape. I might go for these ones on the cliff side, where, you know, it looks nice. It does really look nice. The how I made them even all the way around was using the single block ones as well, which is here, and I'm now extending it outwards to have a bit of a snag on it. As you can tell, I love being even on all sides, so I actually kind of change up the design a bit. At the back, instead of just two on each side, there's three on one side, and on the right hand side there is two. So I'm just going to move my chair over here real quickly. Yeah, I hope this tutorial helped. I'm not very good at doing these tutorials yet. I'm not on the same level as Davey at No Respawns or everyone else actually that I've joined the nice community on Twitter with. And yeah, so this is pretty much it. I hope this video has helped you in a way to get an idea. I'm apologize for the first one not working. I should have realized that without building it, without the guard inside of it, but I needed to know the head height. So this has helped pretty much. This looks pretty killer. I like this a lot, and I hope you enjoyed the video, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll see you next time on RTC. See you guys. Have a good one.